was afraid to piss my pants, afraid she'd try and girl steal my shit. I swear to God, she fucking used that thing on everything.
PTR Radio.
All right, and we'll quickly fade out the skippiness.
I was hoping that was something with you.
Yeah,
God.
It was. It wasn't you.
Oh.
Yeah, no, it was playback on my side. No, after the trouble we went through to get Colin to hear us before the show. So yeah, no, no, that was issue on my side. One of these days, I'm thinking about spending my stimulus on either essentials or a new computer. I haven't decided which ones yet. I could either get the electrical fixed in my house, or I could get something to take more electricity from the already overtaxed electrical system in my house. I'm not sure which I should do.
Well, term, I think my logical fixed, and at the same time, you would be able to upgrade other items once the electrical is fixed to see how far you can push it down the road.
Well, do you think we're going to get another stimulus after this stimulus? I mean, maybe we just get never-ending stimuli. Is it stimuli now that we've gone plural? Can we just get more stimuli?
I think it's easier just to call them stimulus checks and just pluralize the checks. That's what I would do.
I plead the fifth.
I did like
this whole topic.
I did like the one guy's suggestion. Just don't tax me anything. Just call a tax break, a tax holiday for a few years, and forget the stimulus checks. Just get rid of income tax and sales tax, and boom, there's your stimulating the economy.
You know what? I'm not even asking you to for a couple of years. I'm asking. Let me deduct my full state and local taxes again, instead of this cap that you put on there. That son of a.
Mm-hmm.
At least they're allowing you to take charity back out again.
Well, yeah, but you can still only take so much charity. I mean, I give to charity until it hurts, and it hurts a lot because you can only take out so much.
But and here's the other thing: you're giving to charity, and I get that. You should. Look, I don't give to charity for a tax deduction. So, all right, I'm not that rich. But that's money that I would still have to put out on top of the taxes that I am no longer allowed to write off or claim as a deduction on my federal. So it's not sane, and I don't like how. There's so many things happening here where it's if you have kids, you'll be able to get.
Do you think there should be a no-kid tax incentive? It's like you're not a drain on the economy this way, so you should get a benefit.
There's a little bit of irony that a tweet from a year ago to a good friend of the show, yours and mine, Kevin Reeves, I was replying to him, and I said, 75% of my property tax goes to the schools. So if getting a vasectomy, thereby guaranteeing I will never put a child through the school system, gets me a reduction of several $1,000s a year, sign me up.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some definite truth to that. For
yeah,
sure.
I'll pay.
What would be more useful is to be able to get a dependency deduction for the animals.
Oh, for Mike, for sure.
Yes, but the downside to that is twofold because, one, the government does tell you how many you are allowed to have legally, and two, that would lead to a rash of people adopting animals and not necessarily taking care of them just to get the deductions.
Well, yeah, and not only that, but think about this. There's already fight for children during divorces, And there are existing fights for animals during divorces. If you throw a tax deduction for the animal on top of that, just think about how much more heated that battle for that animal is going to get.
Yeah. Well, you know all about it, Shaggy, because you'd be like, well, this year I get Rover's tax deduction, and next year you get Rover's tax
Oh my
deduction.
God, yeah. Trust me, that's hard enough with children, okay? Because I did end up one year where the ex thought that she got the tax deduction for the daughter, but it was really my year for the tax deduction for the daughter. So then the Fed sends you a letter going, wait a second, this child was claimed by 2 different parents during the same year, so somebody's getting audited. And that's when you have to send in the paperwork going, listen, here is the decree, and it obviously says on odd years, and this was an odd year, and it's my year. So you go audit her ass. All right, not me. And you're just praying that you're right, and that you, when you go find that paperwork, that you go, I know it said odd. I know it said odd. God, please say odd, because, it's been a while. And you're like, yes, it said odd. Ah, thank God. I'm not going to jail this year. Because that's, oh, man, when you're banking on your memory and it actually pays off, it is the best feeling. So, yeah. It's like
so that's actually a thing?
Oh, yeah, it's a thing.
Wow.
Yeah. No, it's totally a thing.
Okay.
Yep.
Yet another reason why I'll sign me up, man. Sign me up.
And we've talked about it on the shows before. I've had that surgery. It's not nearly as bad as guys think it is. A couple bags of peas and a few days on the recliner, and you're good as new. The bad part is the tests afterwards, which you are required to get. For them to sign a little thing saying, yep, no more swimmers. Which, by the way, Mike, how is the weather in New Jersey?
So, of course,
Yep, can still adopt. Yep, true.
I'll sign that right away, too.
Yeah. So
the weather in New Jersey, listen, every single house on my block had some form of an ice dam in at least one of their gutters.
Ooh.
Because it's been ridiculous. See, all right, no, look, yeah. And if you listen past, you would hear that my stance is a base plus N taxation to support the schools, so that everybody does. But I am not paying the same amount of taxes as the house down the street that has 7 kids in the school system in my town.
There was a lady.
That's as far as I'm going to go with that.
There was a lady on The Price is Right today who had a T-shirt that said "Mom of 12." All right,
and how far back do we go? Did my parents pay for my use of the school system and for the improvements, or am I paying for my use? Where's the cycle end? With that said,
yes.
Tomorrow my yard is going to become the home of Swamp Thing. In fact, they may film an episode because all of this snow, we had 2 feet of snow, plus sleet and stuff on top of it, and now tomorrow is going to be 40 and raining.
Oh, geez.
Oh.
So,
see, we had, I don't know, maybe 3 inches yesterday, okay, and it bitterly cold. And then today, it's forecasted for 8 to 10 inches, I think, of which I think we've already had 3 or 4. I went out today at 2 o'clock, and I plowed the driveway and the sidewalks. And, this is what it looks like right now in my driveway, and how well it's coming down. So you can see my plowing did a lot of good. This was all cleaned off about 4 hours ago. So, yeah.
Well, and that was the other thing. When we had the bad snow, what was that, last week, I went out a couple of times with the snowblower. And I discovered that my snowblower does not have the run flat tires. And you can actually have 0 air pressure in a tire, and it still looks like it's inflated.
when the sidewalls are frozen that way?
pretty much. Mm-hmm. I'm wondering why in high gear I'm getting no traction trying to move. Well, no, what I couldn't tell was that the rims were spinning and the tires were staying in place.
Yeah, I have the run flats, and luckily I also have the electric start.
I have the electric start as well.
Because in years past I did not have that, and I basically threw out my shoulder, pull starting, because it would not work. And so now I have stolen my father's. Of course, he upgraded, to one of these self-propelled double auger, systems, and so he gave me his old one, which is not self-propelled, but it does a good job, but it is electric.
Oh wait, so so yours is a single stage.
Mine is a single stage, yes.
Okay. When we first moved here, I have a single stage. It's still a single stage 2-cycle that I never did any maintenance to at all. I never drained the gas, nothing. I would just hook it up to that electric start and just crank it for 30 minutes if I had to. That's still sitting in my shed as like my backup. But I have the 2-stage now. I have said that my next one will have the tracks with the trigger control steering, as opposed to the wheels that I have now.
See, Dad has wheels and chains on wheels. So
I don't need chains, but
well, he doesn't either. Okay, we don't live in Antarctica, even though occasionally it does look that way. But and so by tomorrow we might have a foot. But knowing the seasons around here, within a week it'll be gone. But we are in for some cold weather, which makes sense because it is winter. We got through almost to the end of November without any cold. I mean, I was still running around in shorts and a t-shirt. So, I'm okay with that. This is one of the coldest Valentine's days, though, that I can remember for quite some time. We were at 0, which does make things a little cool.
So what I found out recently is that our local weather government office has this thing called decision support, which is this gigantic powered like a slide presentation of all the weather in Central Illinois. It's like one of those presentations you see like in a movie when they're showing the president this. Here's the weather that's going to destroy the country. It's that level of detailed presentation they put together. It has everything from what the flood stages are for all the major rivers in the state to just the standard weather. I was checking yours, Mike. Apparently, your local weather station is just Philadelphia, and they don't have that nice slide deck.
Well, Philly, I would think we're actually closer to New York if they have something like that. But New York, who cares? This one I'm unaware of. Okay, there's probably a joke in here that could be political in nature, could be related to COVID, could be related to
a lot of things.
I don't know. A lot of things. Yeah,
I don't know that one.
We'll just. Although honestly, I don't even remember. I think only one time I saw a formation of geese over New Jersey, and that was probably a month ago. So normally I see a lot more. What I'm hearing, I hear a lot of the planes flying under the weather, which, being on the approach path to Newark Airport, is a whole lot of fun because one of these days it's going to be like the scene from Flight, where I'm going to look up and the plane's going to be upside down and inverted and flying towards the highway. And
well, yeah, it'll be like that scene from SWAT, where somebody asked if they made a new airport downtown. Sorry, that movie gets played about once a week at my house. So pretty much have it memorized. Oh.
I will say, regarding geese, I hate geese. in a way that only people who work where I work can hate geese. There's a large lawn in the front of our building, and we have a pond behind us. And geese just roam all over the place, and they are just mean. And they and their flock like to just stand in the middle of the road to keep you from leaving.
Yes.
Terrible, terrible creatures.
They have geese at the office that I'm based out of. And there's a large contingent of people down there that walk around the complex at lunch. And mind you, it's 5 buildings. Each building is 4 floors or 5, I don't remember. So it's a rather large complex. And people complain because, well, the geese poop, as geese do.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And one time I do recall being late to a meeting that, I was working home that day, and I was late to the meeting because the geese were blocking the door. And I was not about to fight them. Mm-mm. No, because like you said, they can be mean. They chase you, and I ain't gonna wind up on America's Funniest Home Videos running from no goose. Ain't happening.
Yeah, they're fearless.
They are evil creatures. So, Shaggy, I don't know if with all the snow you're going to do a bar segment tonight, but
yes, actually I am. So,
okay. All right.
I think it's probably time to go to the bar and see how we do.
Okay.
Oh. Okay, hopefully you can still hear me.
Yes, we can.
Okay, good. And I can hear you, which is great. So tonight we're actually going to do something real simple, because partly I didn't have time to look up anything else.
Okay.
So we're going to do a twist on a vodka lemonade, which is always a good standby. So, grab my bag of ice that Mike likes.
Okay.
It's this special ice that he got from the Mountain of the Monks.
That's
Yes.
pellet ice directly from Target, not Target, Sonic.
Yeah. My wife and I have actually been drinking a lot of these. So,
Vodka lemon. Okay.
you know it's a lot because this is like the 3rd pitcher of lemonade. But
That,
go ahead, Mike.
no, I was going to say, I think Kim's got that pitcher she makes iced tea in, except ours may have a blue top.
Yeah,
I think everybody in America has that pitcher.
Well, you got to have some things that are common. So what we've been doing is we've been using Absolute Lime vodka, which gives it a nice little tang. And there is no use measuring. A quarter to a third of the way. And then top off with lemonade.
So Dune is saying in Texas they call the Sonic Ice soft ice for some reason. Yes, because it's designed. It's almost like it's aerated, so you can chew it easier.
Makes sense.
Sure, it makes perfect sense. Hopefully in Texas they serve booze too, because
Yeah, but that's all it takes. But we did find that we do like that lime vodka.
okay.
obviously regular vodka works well too, but lime, lemon is also good. Whatever.
Lemon vodka
So
and
that's
lemonade.
for me.
Who knew?
Yeah, imagine.
So I just went completely. I went completely off the rails tonight, and I saw flavors that don't necessarily go together. I've got the chocolate whiskey because, damn it, that's taking up too much room in my fridge. I've got the ginger whiskey, a splash of amaretto, and for posterity, my wife threw in a frozen chocolate heart in the bottom, which I have no idea. This glass was full of ice when I started, so let's say. Thank God it was full. It was full of ice because I think if this wasn't watered down, I'd be a little upset right now. But it's kind of tasty. I think actually having the chocolate heart in there was a nice touch.
I would think that the amaretto and the ginger would actually work well together.
Well, yes, but this chocolate whiskey.
Yeah,
I'm about ready to use this chocolate whiskey to like clean my windows if they freeze over because I just need to get rid of it. It's not the best thing you could have ever bought. Now, when you come back, I do have something else I want to talk about and see if you guys can. I'm putting out a bolo on this one.
Okay. Colin, are you drinking tonight?
Yeah, I got some Grunfell mead. This is their Bragi from their ancient collection, or Bragi, or whatever the Norse god is. But it's
Braggy.
blend of honey, black currants, outer flowers, rose hips, and a touch of juniper.
Much more high class than what
Yeah,
Mike and I are drinking.
suddenly, Shaggy and I are on the blue team at the Pabst Blue Ribbon Factory. No, it wasn't the blue team. It was who were the football players? Because the blue team was the van.
I don't know. I feel like we're in the movie Strange Brew. Meanwhile, Colin is, I don't know, at some brewmeister college.
So this is about 15% alcohol, so it's not super high, but it's higher than my usual stuff.
It's not super high. 15% alcohol. Okay.
Well, compared to like the rocket fuel.
Compared to what? Well, okay, yeah, this is true. Okay, compared to liqueur. But
yeah. All right, let's go back to the studio. All right.
So, one of my teammates gave me one of these, and I drank it yesterday. Mm-hmm. It's a Russian Imperial Stout.
Radio Zombie phone-in? Okay.
14%.
Huh.
Okay. This can, on an empty stomach,
Oh, yeah.
will destroy you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I already told him, I said, I don't know where you got this from, but you're going to have to hook me up with a 4-pack of it, and I'll give you the money, because this is something to have on hand when you need to forget. This is basically like...
What?
This stuff is basically like almost like Four Loko, man. And they made that stuff illegal in some states.
Mm.
So I say what's funny is the BrewDogs also make some of the best non-alcoholic beers too.
Do they really? They're taking all the alcohol from the non-alcoholic beers and putting it into this stuff because.
Well, they actually brew non-alcoholic beers that are brewed to not have alcohol in them. They're like 0.5%. So they're not like a lot of other beers that are non-alcoholic. They actually brew them regular and then have to do something like boil them to get the alcohol out. But BrewDog will just get it correct in the first place.
So, I think first thing, since we're talking about empty stomachs, we need to talk about something that Mike posted on his. Oh, actually, I don't know if it was you or your wife, Mike. You posted it on your Facebook page, and
yes, I did.
It's a contraption I saw in a Facebook advertisement, and I thought, oh, I know who would like that because I have someone on my Christmas list who loves waffles, and not just waffles, but waffle makers, and because this person does lots of things in the waffle maker, right? They've made brownies in the waffle maker. They have made cinnamon rolls in the waffle maker. You know, they like the waffle maker. It's a good appliance to leverage, right? And Mike, you came across this you showed that you had one the same time that I showed interest in one. And so I need to know more about, from a real consumer, how well this stuffed waffle maker works.
Okay, so the Stuffler is what it's called.
Yeah.
And yes, the stuffed waffle maker. So my attempts at first were good first attempts, let's put it that way. There's an art to learning where to fill your first layer and the consistency of your waffle batter. If your waffle batter is too thick, it's tough to get an even spread, right?
Mm-hmm. And for those folks at home who are watching the video, I just brought it up. So this is what we're talking about. It's the Presto Stuffler stuffed waffle maker.
And we'll put a link on our Facebook page for you guys to see it.
Yep.
So we just made apple stuffed waffles, which essentially was like a waffle apple pie. Mm-hmm. And they were pretty tasty. Our biggest complaint was we used Krusty's protein pancake mix. Mm-hmm. And we didn't put any kind of like flavoring into the batter. So that was our mistake.
Yeah.
It was just a straight buttermilk waffle and relied on the apple filling to provide sweetness and flavoring.
Okay, so you think maybe you should have done like a Bisquick batter with maybe some cinnamon and sugar in there?
Well, either that or to make it healthier, you mix in a scoop of like flavored protein powder. I'm hearing yelling from the other side of the wall that I am incorrect.
This just in, from the other side of the wall, Mike is not right. More details to come as we get news from the other side of the wall.
Anyway. So the other thing we did is we bought a different brand of pancake mix. We bought Kodiak protein flapjack mix, which we've used to make pancakes before, and that's got a different consistency than the Krusty's mix. We've never used that before. Mm-hmm. So I think that may have something to do with it. But these things are thick. They're only about 5 inches around, but they are probably 3 or 4 inches thick.
Okay. It's a thick boy. More breaking news from the other side of the wall, folks. Stay tuned for details.
No, that was from the ceiling. Apparently somebody wants it.
News?
Somebody up there wants a waffle or something. Very easy to clean, very easy to use. You just preheat it for 10 minutes. You don't spray it, don't do nothing. And then you put your batter in up to a point. I wish they had markings on the inside instead of just guessing where to fill up to. Mm-hmm. Now, if you put the picture back up real quick, we'll explain in a little more detail that those red handles there, that center ring is actually kind of a clamp.
Okay.
So you lift up from the silicone handles and put your waffle directly onto your plate.
Oh, okay.
In fact, actually, if you look at the last picture, I think it kind of illustrates that a little.
Yes.
So there you go. All right. So very easy to clean up.
It's a circular tong.
Yes.
Okay.
What I will say is if you overfill your waffle, you will be holding it down. You'll be holding that thing closed for about 10 minutes.
Okay. So
otherwise, it's just going to expand.
So it's not a quick waffle.
No, it preheats for 10 minutes, and then it takes 8 to 10 minutes, depending on your waffle mix, to be fully done, and then that's it.
Okay. All right.
But typically, if you have two people, you're gonna be splitting that waffle because especially if you stuff it well.
Okay.
My next one I want to do is with chicken in the middle. So instead of the traditional fried chicken and waffles, I want the chicken inside the waffle.
Okay. What if you use chicken nuggets?
Oh. Apparently, I was correct. She said yes on the flavored protein powder. Yes.
Okay.
So chicken nuggets could possibly work.
They'd have to be
We've
cooked.
seen people, yes. We've seen people use, put tomato sauce, pepperoni, and some mozzarella in there, so they make like a stuffed pizza waffle.
Pizza waffle.
So
I wonder
these
if
are
you could
not
just do pizza crust in there and make like a pizza pocket. Like a hot pocket.
Probably some kind of variant.
You could probably buy a Papa Murphy's pizza and just fold it over and stick it in there.
Make your own calzone is what you're saying.
Yeah.
So I'm looking here. I was looking for recipes.
So we actually saw. There's a guy on Facebook we follow who goes by the name Mud Hustler.
Oh, okay.
And he is his motto is, you can eat. So it's something like, you can eat like a fat kid if you're wicked smart. And everything he does is based off of Weight Watchers principles. So he modifies his recipes so that they're filling, they're flavorful, and they fit the Weight Watchers points program.
Okay.
And he did pizza, he did cherry stuffed waffles.
Yeah, so people have done breakfast stuffed waffles with eggs and cheese and peppers and onions. Bacon, egg, and cheese stuffed waffles. Obviously stuffed blueberries. Strawberries and cream cheese. Yep, the pizza stuffed waffle where you use pizza dough, pepperoni, marinara sauce, and mozzarella. That's one.
The trick is they tell you do not spray it with any nonstick spray.
Okay, because
now I've seen people do it.
Yeah,
but
yeah. So turtle cheesecake stuffed waffle. And obviously, now the one thing that I saw in here was some people were making like ham and cheese stuffed waffles, to kind of make their own version of a, damn it, what's the one?
Of a Hot Pocket.
No, what's the one that's deep fried and covered in the sandwich that's deep fried?
Monte Cristo.
Yeah, Monte Cristo. So yeah, but like I said, the person I'm targeting this at, I think would just love it because they love the waffle maker. And, so for me, I think this might be the perfect gift for them because it's not something that they would normally see. And I think it might be a nifty, just a nifty tool for them in their arsenal.
Now, if you go to the Amazon page for this and you scroll down, I want to just dispel a myth right now.
Uh-huh.
Because they show the first picture from the manufacturer. It ain't coming out like this. Let's be perfectly
Oh, with
clear.
the giant cavity in the middle?
Yes. And it is not how this works.
So you're saying that this picture is completely unrealistic?
What I'm saying is that picture was done by an on-set person who made a full waffle and carved out that middle.
Yeah.
And then put, your filling is going to intermix with, there is not going to be gaps.
No.
Your filling will intermix with with the waffle batter.
Yes. This is a piece of foam. That's most like, this is a stunt waffle. That's what this is.
Yes. Now, if you scroll down a little further, they talk about, okay, so there. So you've got, what was
Cookie
that?
chunks. That's like
Turtle,
a
well,
cookie
no,
bar.
go up one little bit. All right, and hover over the picture there. Yeah, so you got turtle cheesecake made with chocolate cake mix.
Mm-hmm.
No, put it over the picture. Over the picture. There. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you go to the next one. The next one is fruit or pie fillings. Pie fillings, yes. Fruit, sure, if you want to pretend to be healthy.
Uh-huh. While you're eating
Next
nothing
one?
but
Is the chicken and waffles. There you go. With chicken fingers.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could do a Reuben, corn fritters. Yeah.
And here's the pizza one with
And there's
not
the pizza.
nearly enough cheese.
Okay. That picture down there, the toppings baked inside, that is a Snickers bar that somebody cut up.
Yeah.
So this has the potential to basically, if you're a single person, I would be making every damn meal in this.
Yes. I don't know what you're doing with your life if you're using anything other than the waffler. I mean, why do you need a stove? You just use the waffler. I don't get it.
Like this is the kind of utensil I would bring on vacation if you were going to like stay somewhere, because if I got to make breakfast in my room, I'm making a stuffed waffle.
Yeah. I'm going to bring
You
the
could
international adapter and my waffler if I go overseas.
I mean, look, you could always go to Target and you could find the Pearl Milling Company just add water pancake mix that you take off the top, put some water in, and then you shake it up as pancake batter.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you can do that and you can pour it in there, and this way you can make it wherever you are. You don't need eggs or nothing for that. You can add your toppings and put it in there.
Yes. Just always carry your Presto stuffed waffle maker and a can opener, and you'll never be hungry again. As long as there's a grocery store close.
That's right.
You know? 1,100 people can't be wrong.
Now, I also have a weird waffle maker. I do not know where this waffle maker came from, other than I found it in my house one day.
Okay.
Apparently, I bought it years ago. Somehow, I completely forgot about it. But it's a...
Is that a double
this
waffle?
one was a Cuisinart, but mine was a Warning. Anyway, see, Breakfast Express. It's a waffle maker and omelet maker.
So
that thing spins, and one of them is a waffle maker, and the other one's an omelet maker.
Does it do both at the same time?
Yes. Yeah, you lift the top part, you pour the waffle mix in, and then you close it, and then you turn it over, just like the ones you see in
the hotels.
And then you open the other side of it and pour in your egg mixture, and then close it. And so you'll cook the omelet on the one side while the waffle's cooking on the other side.
Interesting.
Huh. That's a discontinued item. What other discontinued waffle makers do they make? Oh, the four-square waffle maker. So the four sliced waffle maker is discontinued. The vertical waffle maker. How the hell do you make a vertical waffle? Everything would just go down to the bottom.
No, because you're filling it up from the top.
That's a horrible design. That's just weird. The tri-waffle maker. Oh no, that's the crepe maker and the Pizzelli. Crepe, Pizzelli, and Pancake Plus. Boy, those are going to be some skinny pancakes. More Belgian waffle, square waffle. Oh, a 6 waffle maker. A heart-shaped waffle maker.
I was going to say, how do you not have the 6-slice waffle maker?
Because we just have a regular turnover style waffle dippers. Waffle sticks. It makes waffle sticks. Huh. Interesting. Waffles are a great invention. I don't know who created it. J.W. Waffle, probably. But, great guy. He came up with an idea and stuck with him. We wouldn't have shoes. We wouldn't have sports shoes if it wasn't for the waffle maker.
This is true.
So, no, we bought my father-in-law a breakfast sandwich maker, which was pretty close to Colin's, which was because he was a connoisseur of the Egg McMuffin.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And so we bought him
yes.
the Hamilton Beach, put your muffin in, put your eggs in your ham, and then your egg go on top, and then your other muffin, and boom, you got one muffin sandwich. You're not buying this if you got more than one person in the house, though, because you got a lot of complaints.
Did it work?
I think he used it like twice, so it's questionable. He thought it was the greatest thing since the sliced, bread originally when we got it for him, but I don't know that he ever used it more than twice.
English muffin pizzas. Wow, that brings me back to grade school, man. That was like the shiznit lunch right there when you came home and English muffin pizza.
I was never a fan of English muffin, so we always had French bread pizza. If we wanted non-pizza. What was it? Okay, so let's see here. What else is on the list for tonight?
One thing we did pretty quickly was the Gorilla Glue woman. So, as we know, that went through, last couple of weeks. It came, it went. She got her hair fixed. But I was looking around, and some of the side stories that went along with Gorilla Glue woman are actually even more interesting. Like, there was a man named Len Martin who was trying to prove that it wasn't a serious thing at all. So he used Gorilla Glue to stick a plastic cup to his own lips.
Oh, that, my friend, became the new TikTok challenge.
Oh, good Lord. Can't they just do the silhouette challenge and the drop it like it's hot challenge?
This was
Those are much better.
This was among the same idiots that brought you the Tide Pod challenge. Okay, but yeah, this guy stuck it to his lip, and guess what? He wound up at the emergency room, and now he's got half a lip.
Yeah.
Okay, so here I was going to say, here are the best 20 best viral TikTok challenges so far. And this is as of...
Wait, so hold on. Before you go to that, let's just give the final update here, because there was a GoFundMe for this woman. And I don't know if she put it up or if somebody put it up for her, but it raised like $23,000 in a matter of days. She actually, after she got her hair fixed by the plastic surgeon out there in LA, she said that she was going to take money to cover the bills from her emergency room visit, her travel expenses to go out to see the doctor, and the rest was going to be donated to the doctor's charity, which does scalp reconstruction for like accident victims and burn victims and what have you. So she did not make money off of the charity or off the GoFundMe. Which, when I found that out, I was actually very, very pleased.
Yep.
Because I will admit that I had my doubts about this. I still don't understand exactly how it happened, but I think she was sincere. She was showing her sincerity by doing this, by donating the money, that I was not in this for a reality show or what have you. So
I think the biggest problem was when it was coming out that she was going to sue Gorilla Glue, which, looking back through it, feels like something that was kind of blown up by the press as something they could attack her on. And
well, I think,
yeah, go ahead.
Well, I don't think she personally was planning on suing. I think lawyers were coming out saying that she should sue, and that's how it got twisted.
Yeah, that's exactly what my second point was. So yes.
Mm-hmm. No, I don't think she had any suing to be.
No. He's like, well, I think she was just getting, lots and lots of calls from lawyers, and so she probably said to a press person, I'm getting a lot of this thing, I'm thinking maybe I should sue, and then they just took that as, oh, she's going to sue.
Yeah.
So. Oh, anyway,
and
the ongoing saga of A Christmas Story, tongue frozen to the post thing. Just even in 2021, making sure the year is correct. Even in 2021, that just continues to fascinate us.
So, I will say that, and I told my wife this. I said, in the locker room before hockey this past week, this story came up when people were talking about it, and somebody started to go down the path of how this was racial, like, and I put a stop to it real quick. I said, my example was, do you all remember when the Sex Pistols and the whole punk scene was big over in England in the early 80s? And I said, I looked right around. I looked at the guy. I said, I know you remember it because you were older then. I know you know this. Guess what they used when they did those big spike mohawks? They used wood glue. So there's a precedent of that is not racial of people putting stupid shit in their hair. Mm-hmm. Move on.
Yeah, it's
TikTok challenges. Which ones are we gonna do?
We're not doing any of them. And actually, most of them that I found were all around dances. They weren't any of the ones that were interesting. So they were like Old Town Road, beautiful people, obsessed, art project, DNA challenge. I don't know what the hell that is. The flip the switch challenge, celebrity lookalike, wipe it challenge. None of them are good. None of them are great.
Okay.
So, but anyway, let's talk about the other thing I want to talk about. I want to make sure that we talk about it because we missed it on the last show. So I've been on a mission for a while to reduce my bills. Okay, and one of the biggest bills that kind of gets under my skin is my TV bill. All right, and one of the reasons why is because I don't watch it. So it really does irritate me. My wife watches TV, the grandkids watch TV when they're over, but I, in general, don't watch TV. I watch things that download off of the internet, sure, and I watch streaming channels, but I don't watch any of Dish Network, which is what I'm subscribed to for television. But yet that bill is like $130 a month, which is a bit hard to swallow for something I don't use. Now, that is in addition to my internet bill, which is about $100 a month, and in addition to my cell phone bill, which is about $230 a month. So my communications category is kind of through the roof. Now, we know I'm not getting rid of internet. All right, let's not be silly here. That is the most important thing in the world. And we know that the cell phone bill, I've actually tried to get it down further, but that's not going to happen. All right, the only way it's going to go down further is when we get some phones paid off, or I kick my daughter off of our family plan, which it probably isn't going to happen because she's daddy's little girl, and I take care of her. That's just what happens. That's what happens to the youngest child. They get spoiled. That's just, especially when it's the only girl. That's what happens. Colin, I'm sorry, you're the only boy. You should get spoiled more often because you're the one-off. But I don't know why it doesn't. Mama Blair and Papa Blair, you need to start, showering your son with more affection. He's the only one out there. He continue the family line. Just gifts every day. Every day is Colin Day. That's the way it should be. So
they are providing the roof. So that...
well, yeah, but your sisters aren't going to change their diapers when it comes time. You're going to be there. That's what that's for. So you're just prepaying that. They're prepaying for that service. So anyway, so I started looking into alternatives for TV, knowing that I had some pretty strict guidelines for what was going to be required for a replacement. Now, Colin, you had the suggestion of YouTube TV because that's actually
what I use. YouTube TV.
What you use, right? Because the requirements was got to have Hallmark, got to have Lifetime. All right. I thought that, with Discovery Plus streaming, things are going to be easier because if I do watch something on TV, I watch like Going RV or Living Alaska or whatever, and I thought, well, surely Discovery Plus, which is streaming, is going to have the live content. Well, it doesn't. And also, got to have Cooking Channel, got to have, the Food Network, got to have those. Turns out, those channels that nobody watches except for housewives, primarily, those channels are a bit hard to find sometimes. So even with YouTube TV, it wasn't going to be a complete package of everything that I needed. I was going to have to go out and I was going to have to get the Lifetime, and I was going to have to get the Hallmark because they didn't have all the different channels that I needed. And then when I started looking into, all right, what does Lifetime streaming have? What does Hallmark streaming have? Well, they only have pre-recorded stuff. They don't show their live channels on those streaming platforms either. So I'm like, oh, great, I'm back to square one. So then I start looking, okay, well, what about Sling? What about, DirecTV now has an online streaming service. What about, these other ones? And I happened to come across, so I did some searching on what the best options were, and I came across this one called Fubo, or Fubo, Fubo TV. Now, it's still kind of expensive. It ended up being about $65 a month. All right. I think with the deal I got, which was paying quarterly, I think I got it down to $60 a month. But it has like a lot of channels. It's got Lifetime. It's got all the Hallmarks. It's got, the Discovery channels that I wanted to watch. It included up to 5 streaming devices at one time. It included DVR. And so far, other than a bit today, for some reason, I don't know why today's different, I haven't had any problems with stream quality. It has been completely flawless as far as being able to stream nonstop. And, they do have a focus towards sports. They're very sports-centric. So if you like soccer, baseball, basketball, especially college basketball or European soccer, they do have football. They have like sections of their menu just dedicated to that. So if you love live sports, they're all about it. And they've got all the different sports channels. And then they've got, the extras that you can buy, like the HBO and the Cinemax and the Showtime and all that other crap. But you don't have to buy those. I've been pretty happy with it so far. Now, what I did was I told Dish, or at least I'm going to tell Dish, I haven't done it yet, they have an option where you can basically pause your subscription, where you don't have to send everything back yet. You can pause it, I think, for up to 3 months. So the idea is that I'll pause Dish, work only off of Fubo, is how I pronounce it, and see how it goes. And, hopefully and I've had the wife start using it, and hopefully it'll be effective for us. But I was wondering if either of you two had any experience with Fubo, or if it's something that you guys would kind of be interested in.
Well, me personally, I know a couple of the guys on my team are using that for the same reasons as you, that basically it's the lowest cost option for when they want to watch TV, but they don't watch TV that that often. So, and I believe, maybe you said this, but I was trying to see what ATT TV packages, if those channels were in there. Can you pause Fubo?
Yes, you can.
Or Fubo?
Yeah.
So it's no commitment, so you could skip a month if you wanted to.
You can. It's a monthly subscription, but you get the best deal if you sign up quarterly.
Well, yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, there's no annual commitment.
Okay, because one of the guys actually said that in the summer when they're traveling a lot, he just stops he pauses his subscription or whatever, and he saves those 3 months or whatever. Yeah. As far as streaming, I'm kind of married to DirecTV with the dish right now, and that's about all I can say about it.
Yeah, actually, I just looked it up. Yeah, you can pause your subscription. You won't be charged for anything up to 3 months.
Yeah.
And you'll keep all your recordings in your personal settings. So for like his situation, that seems perfect, where he just wants to pause it during the summertime. So yeah, the one that I actually got signed up for included the Cloud DVR 1000, the Family Share Max, and the Fubo Extra, which was extra channels. And it came down to $194.97 per quarter is what it ended up being. So, but like I said, that's up to 5 devices at one time. It worked pretty well. And it does have profile management, so you can have up to 3 different profiles if you want. And that means that you all get your customized guide. So one of the things that I didn't realize how much I really like is being able to rearrange the channel guide. It's pretty cool. And I don't know if this is something you can do with DirecTV or Dish, but you can rearrange how the channels show up in the channel guide. And so all the channels that we actually watch, I can put at the beginning of the channel guide, and I can move all the other crap that we don't watch. I can either completely hide it or just move it to the end.
So DirecTV, you can't rearrange, but you can select what channels specifically show up in the guide. So you can pick either all channels that only channels you get, or if you only watch like 5 channels, you can just have your guide show only those 5. ATT TV, the streaming service, you can't change the order, but you can favorite specific channels, and you can filter the guide on your favorites.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of nifty. It gives you the DVR series. I know Colin was making a big deal about the DVR on YouTube, where it was basically like a 6-month rolling DVR, I think.
Yeah, unlimited. So there's no hour limit.
Yeah.
I think the other thing is just looking at what Fubo has versus YouTube is the total lack of everything Turner is a problem.
I mean, it
so
doesn't.
No TNT, no TBS, no Cartoon Network, no CNN, no Turner Classic Movies.
Yeah, which doesn't. I mean, I don't think for us it really matters that much. But I mean, yeah, TBS would probably be nice because occasionally we'll watch reruns of Big Bang Theory on TBS, but that's about it. I don't think we watch anything else on TBS. Plus, is TBS over the air? So couldn't you get potentially? No, it's not? Okay.
No.
Okay.
Well, for me, the fact that Leverage is coming back. Well, no, Leverage is going to be on a different channel this time, isn't it?
Besides, Leverage is also going to be, I would assume, on Electric Now, which you could get streaming if you really wanted to.
Yeah, but the idea of being able to watch something like that live is important to me.
Yeah.
What is Leverage coming back on?
Oh, I bet it'll be a while. I bet that's been delayed quite a bit.
No, because they started shooting that. That was post-COVID announced.
Mm.
It's going to be on IMDb TV.
Mm.
Yes.
So you wouldn't.
Fubu is a clothing line for you by you. Somebody watches Shark Tank.
No.
Yeah, I know.
David and John.
I don't know exactly how you pronounce Fubo, or if it's Fubo or whatever.
No, it's Fubo.
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 So,
Yeah.
but anyway, I thought I'm like, well, we can give this one a test drive, see how it works. And like I said, with the ability to just pause Dish Network and not have to send back the equipment or anything, gives me a good opportunity to give it a really hard test by essentially turning off everything else. So
I will say, so look at other streaming thing that's been happening. As you mentioned, Discovery Plus. So I broke down and went ahead and signed up for the 7-day trial Discovery Plus. And come to find out, well, first off, for most of the shows I want to watch, the shows are actually showing up on Discovery Plus before they show up on live Discovery.
yeah,
So I was like, oh, okay. So I don't need live Discovery much, but the back catalog Discovery Plus has is amazing.
it is
And
not.
so,
I'll tell you, we've been watching a lot of trauma life in the ER or untold stories of the ER, which is weird because normally I'm a little bit squeamish. You know, I hate horror movies and things like that, but I think it's more because of the horror and the suspense aspect. I actually like medical documentaries. And so there's these, untold stories of the ER is kind of nifty to watch, even though, to some degree it's bloody and everything. But, they've got that series on Discovery Plus, and so you can, if you like that show, you can actually watch it there. Plus, I found some other places, but they don't have a whole lot of them, so I don't know whether they just didn't film a ton of those series or what. But like, we got up to like season 15, and it's like season 14 only had 6 episodes. So either they only had 6 episodes in that season, or they just didn't list everything. So we're gonna have to figure out what it is, and because we want to see more shark bite victims and car crash accidents and things like that, because it's fun, and now we know what to do in case somebody's heart stops beating, and now we've gotten pretty good at diagnosing problems. I was hitting them on the mark last night in bed while we were watching them.
Well, when we watch Dr. Pole, right, that's Kim and I. Like, they're bringing in. I bet you it's an abscess.
Yep.
They're going to find out that the cow has worms. That's it. They have to going to deworm him.
Yep. And so I just really was, and my wife is like, well, do they still make this? I'm like, no, I don't think so. I think it's over.
Yeah.
I'm like, I wish it wasn't.
So I went ahead and bought myself the 1-year gift subscription to Discovery Plus.
Oh, the Valentine's Day offer?
Yeah, the offer where you get a discount for buying it for somebody else. I was like, oh, okay, I'll buy it for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that. So I have Discovery Plus. I have HBO Max, which I've found to be very good. I have Hulu, Discovery Plus, and Showtime, because I get that with a package. I get the CBS and the Showtime together for the same price from Apple. And that's being turned into Paramount streaming.
Yeah, I saw an advertisement for that.
So look at how these go.
She said crack.
So
I'm sorry. You guys don't watch Super Bowl, so.
Well, I did watch the Super Bowl. And it was not much of a game, but yeah.
My wife just kept getting.
Pretty soon, do I really need a regular TV package? Because these different streaming. But so far, I have not found any reason to sign up for Peacock.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. Talk about the football game a little bit. My wife just got so mad more and more at the refs of that game, and finally just turned it off during the halftime show because she was so uninterested in the halftime show.
So it's funny. We're not football people in this house, but we'll watch the Super Bowl. If there's a party or something, we'll watch the halftime show depending on who it is. We were about the weekend, but thought he did a good job. You know, he didn't rely on special guests coming in to boost the show. No, he did it his way, and everything was cool. And okay, we thought it was good. But we were both more animated about this Super Bowl having nothing vested in either team, not following the entire season at all. I mean, Kim was yelling. And I don't think she ever got emotional about a football game before, ever. Mm-hmm. The closest she got to being emotional was when J-Lo popped up on the screen at one point after she did the halftime show because she loves J-Lo.
Yeah,
maybe this is a side effect of COVID. I don't know.
I spent the game. I spent the football game playing. I was sitting at my bar, playing a video game on the PC that was there while my wife sat and watched the game on TV. So I was at least in the same room with her, which made her happy.
Yeah.
Mixing drinks, and just refilling her glass as needed, and and that was, I'll tell you what, that was something weird for me because I finally got sucked into a game. I haven't gotten sucked into a computer game in over 30 years. It just hasn't happened. Ever since the original Duke Nukem, okay, where it was left to right scroller, I haven't gotten sucked into a game.
So I'm looking at the few CDs I have up there. The last game that I think I got sucked into was, and it wasn't even like an MMO, but I got sucked into StarCraft.
Yeah. I've heard of it. I haven't played it, but I heard of it.
And the expansion set, which was entitled Brood War, I got sucked into that. The first PC game that I ever bought, and this is truth, was Quake 3 Arena.
Okay.
And I only bought that because it was on sale at the time I was working at BJ's. We were getting a terrible snowstorm. I knew we were going to be snowed in for a couple of days, so I bought that because it was like $20. I said, it'll give me something to do while I'm home. I bought that and a carton of cigarettes before I left work for the last time. And I remember I actually had an Alienware computer, which was back when they built kind of like how iBuyPower builds them now.
So it was like this.
Mm-hmm. That's StarCraft, yes. And it's Terran
Battle Cruiser, Commodore. Yep.
So you had the Terrans, the Protoss, and the I can't remember the third race that you could pick.
Well, it looks like a
anyway.
Yeah.
It's a space version of Warcraft, is what it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
And it just never took off. Now let's just talk about Dr. Pimple Popper because apparently her new season is on Discovery Plus now.
Yeah.
And not going to be on Discovery, which is kind of upsetting.
They've moved a couple of shows to Discovery Plus. So like Property
that bothers
Brothers,
me.
Forever Home,
Okay,
Dr.
fine.
Pimple Popper, and
That's not cool.
And the Magnolia Network, Chip and Joanna, they are going to be on Discovery Plus.
Yeah, whatever. They're gonna move Deadliest Catch. I'll fight them.
I don't know, but there's a new Mike Rowe show that's only on Discovery Plus.
That's not returning the favor, is it?
No, it's
okay.
No, because that was a Facebook jam.
Yeah, and that got canceled.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it got canceled, but it finished its run.
Okay. Well,
yeah,
it got canceled.
Okay. And I think they're developing more content for that online platform. I think all the cable companies are finding, or all the channels are finding that there's a lot of money in online content, and they can set their price. So
yes, including 90 Day Fiancé, 700 variants of it.
Yeah.
It's less about getting more money out of the consumer it's not about getting more money to the consumer. It's about not having to share the money with anybody else.
Well, yeah. So, okay, and not having to go through the whole thing about carriage agreements and having to worry about renegotiating those all the time. I get that. But wait a minute now. Maybe this drink is affecting my memory. But Blair, what do you mean you could be Dr. Pimple Popper? Whose pimples is you popping?
So,
because I'm a little concerned because her pimple. Listen, nothing she pops is actually a pimple. They're chicken cutlets, mashed potatoes, scrambled eggs. I don't like the fact that she continuously makes food references when she's dissecting these things, but nothing is actually a pimple.
So here are the original titles on Discovery Plus: 90 Days Bears All, 90 Day Diaries, 90 Day Journey, The Other Way Strikes Back, Amy Schumer Learns to Cook, Cake-alikes, Chopped Challenge, Lovely Bites with Chef Lovely, Tajaya's Way in the Kitchen, American Detective with Lieutenant Joe Kenda, Onasian in Real Life, Frozen in Time, Maureen McCormick, House Hunters, Comedians on Couches Unfiltered, Hometown.
Wait, Maureen McCormick. Hold on. Maureen McCormick. Wasn't that one of the Bradys?
I don't know.
Was that Marsha Brady?
I don't know. Hometown, Ben's Workshop. That's the guy from HGTV's House Party, Tariq's Flip Side, Christina Stronger by Design, Magnolia Table with Joanne Gaines, Magnolia Network, A Look Ahead, Road to Launch, The Courage to Run with Chip Gaines, The Lost Kitchen, Family Dinner, The Field House, The First Time Fixer, Home on the Road with Johnny Swim, Restoration Road with Clint Harp, Super Dad, Point of View, Growing Florette, Say Yes to the Dress in Sickness and in Health, Dr. Pimple Popper, This Is It, Gold Rush, Freddie Dodge's Mine Rescue, Race Across the World, Mystery Planet, narrated by David Schwimmer, 6 Degrees with Mike Rowe. Mike Rowe poses questions that no one has ever asked, and then with a little help from his old buddy Chuck, provides unforgettable answers that prove every single thing is connected. BattleBots, The Bounty Hunters, Elephant Hospital, P.S. Burn This Letter, Please, Restaurant Hustle 2020, The Impossible Row, Beyond Borders, Judi Dench's Wild Borneo Adventure, John Benet Ramsey, Extreme Everest, Monster Garage, Autobiography, Amityville Horror House, Ghost Adventures, Cecil Hotel. As far as I'm concerned, they could put every ghost show on this network and give me back my precious time slots. Ghost Adventures Top 10, UFO Witness. There's another classification that you can take off television. Toddlers and Tiaras. Where are they now? That's everything.
It's it. Honey Boo Boo ate them all.
And what she
Where
did,
are they now?
Mama June smoked.
So a couple of those, so the BattleBots Bounty Hunters was some extra fights they did during this season of BattleBots. They're only available in that on Discovery Plus.
So that kind of that kind of brought up the question, like, how many of these are actual, like, are they special editions of? Because, like, Dr. Paul, they have Dr. Paul, and then they have Dr. Paul Deja Vu.
Yeah,
which is like a pop-up video version of Dr. Paul from the previous week. So how many of them are actually
and
really originals, or are
all
they
the
variants?
90-day stuff is just like, other people commenting on 90 Day and,
Well, no, but that's the thing. One of the things that Discovery did is they said that Discovery Plus is home of the 90-day universe.
Yeah.
Do what now?
You have to admit, they're kind of smart, right? So they made these 90-day shows.
Wait, who's kind of smart?
Well, get this.
Discovery.
All right? So yeah, because they said, here, let's make a show about idiots who get engaged in 90 days and get married, right? And then we'll make another show about people watching that show. All right? Then we'll make another show about people in bed watching the people who watch the show.
Okay.
And then we'll make another show of the original people watching the people in bed watching the show.
Hold on, lady. This was the original pitch for Inception. Stop it now.
Yes, but that's what they did.
No.
And they raked it in. And they said, let's get the guy with no neck. He's a star.
The first one, people, that guy. So the first one, the Juggernaut dollar store version. The first one, okay, 90 Day Fiancé. That was when they realized that Married at First Sight that's too extreme. So we got to back it down a bit. Then they did 90 Day the other way, where instead of them coming to America, the American goes to them. Okay, that's fine. Then they did people watching. So the reaction TV show, that was because all of these reaction bullshit
channels on YouTube
channels watching, we're going to watch Game of Thrones when it comes on and film our reaction and put it on there. And I mean, some of these guys made thousands of dollars thanks to Patreon because they were doing this. The one guy was a bartender in Massachusetts that he filmed the watchers at the bar when they were watching this, and one of the chicks watchers at the bar went on to be the voice of one of the dragons on the damn show. So they got hundreds of thousands of freaking Instagram followers, so now they're influencers. Meanwhile, they look like they're 12. No, listen.
Yes.
Dr. Pimple Popper, actually, that one upsets me because that's one of those shows that when it's on, I could get sucked in real quick and I could lose an entire day if there's a marathon going on. If she's only going to be on Discovery Plus going forward, that could be a problem. And I actually know some people that will probably subscribe just to watch her.
Now, some of those other shows listed are actually some old shows that have actually come back. So, like Monster Garage is actually brand new episodes of Monster Garage where it's really Monster Garage the way it should have been done the first time. So it looks like Jesse James actually has control of the show. And it isn't just Jesse James shows up on day one and then gets mad and goes away and then later he comes back. It's, yes, Gogglebox. It's weird.
Gotta go to Britain, don't you? Gotta go to Britain. Wait until I have my pint of liquor and you go to Britain. Yep.
So Monster Garage, that's really good. So if you guys, if you were ever a fan of the original Monster Garage, but got tired of its formulaic, frankly BS that the original show kind of became, this new version is really good.
Okay.
Okay, so
I would give it a shot.
This all started with us talking about the Super Bowl and me talking about how I finally found a game that I got sucked into. And Mike, you were talking about StarCraft. Now, Colin, of the three of us, you're probably more likely to get sucked into games than we are, simply because I think you probably have more time on your hands, and you're just more likely to be gaming than Mike and I think.
I'm not that likely to be gaming. I'm more likely to own the game.
Okay. Okay.
I was just checking my Steam account. I own 1,135 games on Steam.
Jesus.
How many did you actually pay for, though?
Well, allow
me to rephrase. How many did you actually pay full price for?
Oh, very, very few of them.
Okay, because I just got like 35 games for $10 from like a Humble Bundle, only because Pandemic the game was one of them, and I played it one time, and I haven't even downloaded the rest of them. So,
yep.
Okay. Now, that I respect. Like if you're buying like bundles like that, because they're great values. I mean, let's be real here. $10 for $230 something worth of Shaggy, what game did you get sucked into?
So I got let me start this off by saying this game is a lot like, I don't know if you guys remember the game King's Quest. The old, DOS Windows game where you were the little sorcerer's apprentice and you had to go around and solve puzzles and unlock doors and find keys and, accomplish little tasks to unlock the next part of the game. Let me see if I can find it.
Is that kind of like the game that the kid was playing in the beginning of Big?
I don't know if it was or not.
Pro Thermal Gem.
Being played at the beginning of a movie. I just don't remember which one it was.
It might have been. But yeah, it's a very popular. That whole series was very popular. I think they had like 6 different series of it.
Yeah, it's Here Online, Space Quest, King's Quest.
Yeah. So.
Quest for Glory.
Yeah. So.
Leisure Suit Larry.
Yeah, Leisure Suit Larry. Okay, Leisure Suit Larry is another great example of this game, okay, of what I'm talking about. So, and, because I don't like games that are too hard, right? I'm easy. I want to enjoy the game. So the game I found, and I just saw the name, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to give this a shot. If it doesn't hold my attention in the first 10 minutes, I'm out. And I found a place where I could actually play it online for free. I didn't even have to pay for it, which was cool. Although you probably should pay for this if you're gonna use it. You can buy it through Steam or you can go directly to NLT Games. But it's called Lust Epidemic. I mean, you couldn't get more on brand.
Why am I not surprised?
So let me just read you the description of the game. A student of East State University named Brad finds himself stranded at a rival college, State Dame University, during a hurricane that has unexpectedly changed course and struck the town. While exploring the ancient and creepy campus grounds, you'll uncover many mysterious and mysteries and secrets, as well as some sexy fun. In Lust Epidemic, you'll navigate around the campus and find items and clues that will unfold a mystery as you problem solve your way through the game and build your relationship with the women you find yourself trapped with. Now, this is a very long game, all right? And I will say, it actually did really suck me in, and I played this more than I have really found myself wanting to play a game before. This is a not safe for work game, though.
Of course not.
No, it's not. The name is Lust Epidemic. You should not play this. But it was just weird. I haven't had that type of gameplay in a long time. And of course, this is becoming a series. So the next one in the series, because I now finally finished it. I finished it like on Sunday. Actually, I finished it on Saturday, late Saturday. The next one in the series is called Treasure of Nadia. But I'm holding off playing that one because I can't get sucked into another game. I have stuff to do. So I'm going to wait until I can dedicate a week or so to playing, because there is just no way that I can dedicate myself to playing that game.
I will give you this. At least that is a real game that apparently is available on Steam.
It is available on Steam.
At least Shaggy has not been pulled into some...
It's not a dark web game.
Web thing.
And what's weird is this is a very highly rated game. People love this game.
So, the last game that I actually got sucked into, to the point where I would, on my lunch hour, I would shut my laptop just so I could play this game, was Guitar Hero.
That doesn't seem like something that is easy to do on a break. I mean, it does, but it doesn't. You know what I mean? It's like that takes setup.
I would forego eating to play Guitar Hero this was when it first came out. The other game that I got sucked into was Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, which was the first and only Grand Theft Auto I ever played. Because one of the guys I worked with told me it was the most realistic of the series. Now, it's basically Bloods vs. Crips type gang scenario in it. At one point, I wound up cursing said friend out ridiculously because the gangster from Compton winds up flying a Harrier jet through the city. At
That's
no
not cool.
point is that realistic.
What? What do you mean it's not realistic?
So, and I would love to continue speaking about games, but we're coming up on time to do the movies, and there's one topic. Do we want to save the RV topic till next show now?
I don't know.
Because I don't know if we have enough time to discuss in detail.
Yeah, I just wanted to show you, just because I know you're wondering what this... I don't know if you happen to have queried the game when I was talking about it. I just wanted to show you the intro screen so that you would get an idea.
Of course.
So that's the intro screen. So, you know, it's a wholesome game. You learn things. You uncover things.
Wholesome game.
There's a lot of holes in it. What can I say? All right. Okay.
Wait, I got one last thing for us to talk about real quick because I just want to get opinions on it, so we don't have to go too far. Young Rock. Have you guys seen the commercials for this yet?
I have seen the Instagram posts about it, and I think I saw because you can't not get 10 posts from The Rock every day, you know. So yeah, don't do me a favor, if you're not signed up to follow The Rock, don't follow The Rock, because I feel bad. I feel like I'm letting him down if I unfollow The Rock, but you know, it's pretty bad. All right, it's a lot. Listen, Dwayne, it's a lot, man. We get it. You're buff. You got a lot going on. You got a lot of businesses. All right, we get it, and you're successful. We understand. We're not. We don't need you rubbing it in our face. Okay? Chill out, bro. All right? I mean, do you even lift? We don't know.
Okay. I don't remember this one. Mule.
That was an older game. That's from the era of like the Commodore 64.
Oh, okay.
It's a
Okay.
classic.
For some reason, I seem to remember it, though. For some reason, I'm seeing the cover, and I don't know the cover of the game. I don't know why.
If you played the YouTube video with the theme song, if there's any chance you ever played it, the theme song would bring its memory back to you.
Okay.
A game in which up to 4 players attempt to settle a distant planet with the so-called help of a mule-like machine they all learn to hate. Is that it?
Sounds it.
Is it this one?
Yep, that's it.
Okay.
Like I said, if you played if you found a YouTube video with its theme song, which I'm pretty sure is not going to be content matched.
Theme song. Let's see here. Maybe I'll get it. Let's see. Oh, I guess I better turn up that, huh?
It's time for the percolator. 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 Percolator.
That's the thing. Like I said, if you ever played that game, you would recognize it.
I don't know where that came from. Hold on.
Oh, wait, hold on. You should Colin, you should help out your parents. There's a Mule Returns available on Steam.
Yeah, it's not good. Been a couple of tests.
Oh.
Hold on. Sorry. So what I was doing in the background there.
There's even a Planet Mule.
But while Shaggy was playing the theme song, Shaggy, it immediately sounded like this classic from when I DJ'd at the skating rink.
It's time for the percolator.
If you skip a little bit, you might.
Time for the percolator.
Oh, jeez. Oh, man.
That was. It's time for the percolator. That was it. And people would go crazy for that. Crazy.
All right. I think we ought to get on to our double feature movie review because, boy, do we got a couple of good ones today. Or a couple of movies. We got a couple of movies today.
Yeah, that's a fair statement.
So, for those of you that are unfamiliar with this episode, with this piece of our show, we pick two movies that are available on streaming platforms. In this case, it's Amazon Prime and YouTube, of all places, that you can watch what we do, and it's all recommendations from streaming services. It's the kind of hey, you watch this, so you may be interested in this. Sometimes it's shows that we actually see when browsing and think, hey, that might be something we're interested in. Usually it's a B movie that we think, well, that never got any play in the theaters. Maybe it's good, maybe it's not. But we're going to tell you one way or the other.
Or it gets put on the list because it's British and they want to see if Mike will finally have a damn conniption.
Yeah, it could be that as well. Tonight's shows are Off the Menu from 2018, available on Amazon Prime, and Brick Mansions from 2014, available on YouTube. So which one do we want to do first, Mike?
We're going alphabetical order, as usual. We're going Brick Mansions.
Brick Mansions first. Mike made the call, so Colin is going to start. Colin, Brick Mansions, what's your feeling on this movie? Remember, we grade on a sliding scale from puke to Schnikes being the best.
So, Brick Mansions, the last complete movie that Paul Walker was in. Complete because he actually died partway through the last movie he's in. This is a ripoff of Escape from New York, in a way. Same thing, like you got a politician who sends someone in under false pretenses and all that stuff. If you like parkour, this movie has lots of parkour, so you can watch this movie to get lots of parkour. That's the best part of the movie. Really, is good parkour. So Paul Walker is a policeman who's not good at parkour, but he gets teamed up with a cop killer. This is as far as he knows, and is sent into a walled city inside Detroit, basically ripping off RoboCop now at that point. Although Detroit, according to this movie, is a suburb of Chicago, because there's a couple references to Chicago. One is that there is a rocket that has a Chicago Bears logo on the side, but also they do this pullback from up to a satellite, and it starts in Chicago. So apparently it's Detroit in Chicago, Illinois, not Detroit in Michigan. Lots of running around inside this walled ghetto inside Detroit. And then in the end, I wasn't sure if I fell asleep, but suddenly the bad guy is a good guy, and they're going to make him mayor. I don't know. I must have missed something. Maybe I got knocked in the head. I don't know. It's not a great plot of a movie, but the action's okay. It's worth wasting your time watching this movie. I'll give it a smirk.
All right, smirk from Colin. I'll go next, Mike, if you don't care. I think Colin summed it up well when he said it's a mishmash of a couple of movies. So it is definitely Escape from New York. I think the other one that it pairs best with is, which we've also reviewed, is Tracers. That one also very heavy into the parkour scene. If you do like that Jackie Chan parkour fight style of movie, you're very much going to enjoy this, especially because there are a ton of those scenes in this movie, right? So you get a lot of that action, and also, as Colin said, you can't look for anything too deep and meaningful in this movie. You're just not going to find it. There is a somewhat of a love story in here. It's really veiled and light. There's an undertone of a misinformed or misled cop line in here. There's a whole bunch of other things that are layered on top of this. But at the end, what it gets down to is a cop sent into like a demilitarized zone to perform an objective, and he's kind of saddled with a criminal. So think also a little bit of The Rock in here, right? But not nearly as cool as Sean Connery and Nicolas Cage. But that's kind of the vibe that we end up with in this. So the nice thing is it's a nice short movie. It's only about an hour and a half long. The action sequences are very quick, so it does keep moving along. There's only a very few sections in here where it's a little bit draggy. But yeah, there's a couple of glaring issues with the movie, especially around the end, where the biggest drug dealer in the entire section suddenly is now a candidate for mayor. That one causes me cause for concern, because how does he just flip it entirely to be something different? He was not this angelic, humanitarian. He was killing people because they were, running away with his drugs. I don't see him just flipping the script all that easy. So that's my biggest problem with it. I'm going to give this one probably a meh, because it's right there in the middle. It is nice that it was a decent movie for him to kind of finish his career on, but not the best movie in the world. So, all right, that's my take. All right, Mike.
So, full disclosure, as I stated during the last show when we did the selections, I have seen this movie.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
It's like a work Zoom call all of a sudden here. I had a bad flashback. All right. So, Brick Mansions is like the quarantine zone in Detroit. Like New York, Escape from New York, or District 9 in, well, you get it. David Bell, guy who plays Lido. He is the father of parkour. Might be why I watched this movie initially. I don't know, because maybe I watched Cop Out and I heard, what he's doing there is called parkour, Jimmy. Or maybe because it's Paul Walker's last movie. Maybe. There he is. Best actor in this entire movie. The RZA. If you don't know who the RZA is, listen. Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with. Especially the RZA. And he played Tremaine, okay? As I know, most people don't know. Anyway, the scene where they're dragging Paul Walker on the back of the car, The dude is shifting an automatic in order to go faster. Sure. You know, Paul Walker was in Fast and Furious movies. He's well aware how a manual and how an automatic works. You don't shift an automatic. And it's a nice delivery of the bad guy. Now we start getting in the meat of the plot, where it turns into 48 hours. Cop and crook got to pair up in order to take down the bad guy. Sure. So the RZA makes a little nod there. He says, yeah, cash rule everything around me. Cream, it's the money. Dollar, dollar bill, y'all. Yeah, see? Y'all don't know nothing about Wu-Tang. So the bad guy's not who we thought the bad guy was. Okay, great. And then we get to the credits where it's a sad reality that Paul Walker is gone. So this was actually a literal direct remake of a movie called District B13, which was a Canadian-French movie that also starred David Bell in the same role in that movie, doing the same stunts. It was almost pretty much like scene for scene type remake. So I'm going to give it a smirk as well. This was not a must see for me. It was okay. If you're a fan of parkour, like Colin said, watch this movie. If you're a Paul Walker fan, you should probably watch this as well, since it was the last movie released after his death.
Now, there's one interesting thing that I saw on IMDb, and it was some reference to the idea that David Bell, I think it was David, there's some reference there to someone's voice being dubbed. And referring to, I don't know, just this interesting reference in IMDb. I cannot find any reference other than in that IMDb trivia thing. So.
Oh, somebody says, pretty sure I read somewhere that he was dubbed over by Vin Diesel because his accent was too thick.
That's it, yeah.
Somehow that. Okay,
but
so
that would be really weird.
Yeah, it would be. I'm just trying to find. Anyway, I've been trying to find some other reference anywhere that was a fact, and I haven't found
that.
Any.
Was on a Reddit somewhere. Somebody put that on Reddit.
Where?
As for Bell's voice, pretty sure I read somewhere that it was dubbed over by Vin Diesel, and that's from the Hollywood News. Original reference from the Hollywood News. Boy, that would be bizarre. That wouldn't have an entry in there.
So,
yeah.
No.
Honest Cop is largely hampered by the fact that he doesn't speak English very well, to the extent that he was dubbed over by Vin Diesel, which may attribute to some of the horrible ADR work apparent throughout the film. That was reported by the Hollywood Reporter on May 1st. Or the Hollywood News.
I'm not going to believe that.
Vin Diesel's not in the credits anywhere? Come on now.
Well, sometimes like a voiceover stuff like that does not go into the credits. They can get by the union with that kind of thing. So, I think
Mike,
yeah, go ahead.
I was to say, so Mike, you're saying that this was a remake, much the same way that The Upside was a scene for scene remake of The Untouchables, which was a French movie. The one that had Bryan Cranston and Kevin Hart in it.
Yeah. So, well, I haven't seen The Upside, but I'm gonna say yeah. I mean, this was almost like the way Red Dawn with the Helmsworth brother, Thor, Liam Helmsworth, was like scene for scene remake, almost line for line remake of the original Red Dawn.
Yeah. Since you haven't seen The Upside, I highly recommend it. Because I know, you like me don't like reading movies, so you won't watch the original French version. You know, and it is a very it's a comedy drama, but it's very but it is very drama-ish. So you know.
So this one, let me see, District 13. Yeah, pretty much similar. Yeah, David Bell plays Leto, the main character in the story. K2. Yeah, all the characters are named the same. K2, yep. Lola. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Wouldn't surprise me.
I did notice that. So he referred to the Leo character as French, but his accent was not French, which does make me wonder if somebody else did dub his voice on.
Okay, so actually, it goes from in District 13, he's Leo. In Brick Mansions, he's Lino, a French Caribbean ex-convict.
Oh yeah, that's it.
So there you go.
Mike, you mentioned something about the shifting. What was it you said about that?
Shifting on
so
an
they're
automatic.
Driving. Yeah. So they were driving was it a Dodge Charger or a Chrysler 300, but was only an automatic, and the guy was shifting in order to go faster.
Yes,
and if you talk, what's that?
And also Mustang, they would show us the feet, and not only were they shifting, it had a clutch.
Well, if you have a clutch, obviously you're going to be shifting, and the Mustang was available with a manual transmission.
Yes,
but
it was
a 6-speed manual.
Apparently, it was an automatic vehicle because you could see the automatic lever on it, and it had a clutch pedal. So the editing for these vehicles was completely scrambled up.
That not doing Paul Walker any sir.
It wouldn't surprise me that they put a fake clutch pedal on there and it was still an automatic because they wanted the close-up shots of people, you know, pressing this fake clutch pedal. You know, but probably the actors did not know how to drive a manual transmission car.
Paul Walker knows how to drive a manual transmission.
Well, yes, but
it was well documented that they had to fight with him to get him out of the cars during the filming of all the Fast and Furious movies because he was having way too much fun driving them.
Well, yeah, but he didn't. But what I'm saying is when the woman drove in the beginning scene.
Are you saying that women can't drive stick?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying maybe she could not. I don't know. But anyway, all right, let's move on to our second movie. Because we should. All right, now Mike, you made the premonition last week that this was a movie that I could watch with my wife, so therefore I did. The movie is called Off the Menu. It's a 2018 film released currently on Amazon Prime, and I stand
by that.
I will go last on this so that you guys will be in suspense. So we will let Colin go first again.
Okay, Off the Menu. So we noted last show when we were getting these movies that most of the reviews of this movie would reference the word Hallmark. And yes, this movie is basically a Hallmark movie. I've not watched that many Hallmark movies, so I do question for the other two to answer later, I guess, is it normal in a Hallmark-type movie to have the main character be the worst character you've ever seen? Because that was the problem with this movie, is that the main male romantic lead of this movie is a terrible person at the beginning of the movie, and you just you really don't want to follow him along. He's so bad that the rest of the movie is really kind of hard to swallow. Because, yes, this is the standard, bad character, has grows over the movie, and then by the end, he's a good person. But in this case, you have, he's one character at the beginning of the movie, and he's a different character at the end of the movie. And it's hard to believe that they really are the same character. That much change from a moron being, well, that was a terrible pronunciation, but someone being sent to New Mexico does not fix that much stupid. That being said, character is sent by his family, his sister. Basically, they own Taco Bell, okay? So the male heir of the Taco Bell fortune is sent to New Mexico to learn about actual real Mexican food, or I guess Tex-Mex food from New Mexico. I don't know. Like a Taco Bell type place, everybody wants real food. I don't. Anyway, meets a woman who, beautiful woman. For this type of movie, they spent way too much time with her not wearing much clothes, being very sweaty. That was kind of disconcerting for what this movie, as a Hallmark movie, that was just kind of disconcerting. Pretty though, but and then in the end, you have a little girl who then, of course, has to finish the movie with the absolute worst trope in the world, which is little kids are stupid and do stupid things like steal a truck. And by I say little kid, I mean, is she like 8? I don't know. The actual ending of the movie I found very, very stupid. I think this movie would have been significantly better without the stupid car chase at the end. But beyond that, I don't know. This is not the kind of movie for me. And it was not that great written. I'm gonna have to give this one a smirk as well. At least I thought it was better than most of this genre. At least I liked the New Mexico character.
All right, Mike, you're up next.
So let me start by saying that I kind of envy the life where you can walk down to the farmer's market every morning and figure out your meals on a day-to-day basis. Someday, maybe. However, I do not envy the life where I have a treadmill in my bedroom and work out first thing every morning. I don't know if I have dogs jumping on my head every morning. Don't want a gym routine waking me up. Bitch, let me tell you something. You try to get rid of my coffee in the morning, or cut my coffee out, I will end you. Pop-up outlet in the middle of my kitchen island. Yeah, I want that in my next house. Biking to work in the morning, I don't want that. So you're going to send the guy who clearly does not give a rat's ass about anything on a mission to save the company. That is absolute genius, and that is what is wrong with corporate America today. So we get to the restaurant, and the dude with the shorts and the mustache just tasted the sauce with the wooden spoon that she was using to stir all the sauce. I have never been a health inspector. I have never worked in a kitchen. But I'm pretty sure that is frowned upon. That's why they have the cup with all the spoons on Hell's Kitchen, so they could taste with the spoon and be done with it one time. No double dipping. Sorta has become my fantastic. If that is not the perfect line to describe this whole COVID quarantine pandemic thing, I don't know what is. In fact, that may take a spot on that door right under Butterstown.com so that people see that when I'm on my Zoom calls. And now I'm starting to get like a Simply Irresistible vibe from this movie. You know, the cooking movie with Sarah Michelle Gellar and the Magical Crab and Sean Patrick Flannery, where her emotions bleed over into the food she's cooking and the whole place cries or laughs or has spontaneous orgasms while they're eating. She leaves the dude a note to wait in the truck. Did you really think that this asshole's going to listen? No, of course not. Even I knew. So then the foodie couple winds up being the ones that stole the secret sauce. They're the equivalent of the Schumachers from Dirty Dancing. Nobody expects the old couple to be evil. Well, guess what? Old people are evil because they ain't got nothing left to live for. They're going to take their shit and they're going to be happy. So they're having their little romantical thing in the kitchen. Puts a towel down. Puts cornflakes down, puts another towel down, and starts dancing on the cornflakes to crush them to use in their food. I'm sorry. That's nasty as hell. There's nothing sexy about that. That's nasty. So we get to the end, and I'm just like, where does the river go? The little girl's in the river. Is there a waterfall? Are there sharks in the water? Where's the... What's happening? Save her. Look, I like this movie. I did. I didn't watch this movie until today, so I had some time to forget. About halfway through, I made the connection. This is nothing more than a thinly veiled Hallmark movie with the ethnic Instagram filter applied. I felt cheated, bamboozled, led astray, run amok. Therefore, I cannot give this any higher than a smirk.
All right. You know it's serious when the glasses come out.
If I had a bow tie, I would have had a bow tie on as well.
All right. My turn. So, as Mike suggested, I did watch this with my wife. Because I thought, hey, it does seem like a Hallmark movie. She loves Hallmark movies. She hates when I watch these movies by myself because she wants to be part of... She doesn't want to be on the show. She wants to be part of the show. She wants to be involved in the things I'm involved in. 20 minutes into the show, into the movie. What other movies do you have to watch? She was not impressed. She did not like the show.
Really?
35 minutes into the movie. Well,
wow.
Guess I am watching this one on my own. By the end of the movie, what happened? What did I miss? Everything. An hour worth of the movie. An hour and a half worth of the movie. What happened? What happened after he punched the guy? I got punched too. I do like that no fight ever ended with just one punch in this movie. There was always at least two punches. And there was always ice handy, which is good. So Mike makes some good points about this movie. And also there are some really interesting like callbacks within this movie. So if at the beginning of the movie you hate this guy for being that guy at the gym who tells you what he's doing and why he's doing it and that it's super important to him, you know, if he's like CrossFit guy, right? You know, who's saying, I'm training for a marathon. It's the most important thing in the world. In this case, he's training for an Ironman. And you see no reason why that is in the movie at all, just wait. It'll be in there eventually. All right? Because at the end, I'm like, oh, they didn't completely waste that time, just most of it. They could have made it a lot shorter. They didn't have to spend all that time on it. Also, I'm going to kind of jump to the end of the movie. He said he biked 900 miles. Forrest went from sea to shining sea, and they at least showed him stopping and a beard growing. This guy had a backpack full of stuff, and that's it. And I don't know how long it takes to bike 900 miles. I would have bet he should have had stubble. At least, a 3-day beard, something. It seems a bit unrealistic. And he's on a road bike. At some point, though, he had to have changed those tires. Something seems wrong here. I mean, why did he throw the keys? Why didn't he take the car? It's paid for the month. Let him impound it again. He don't care. All right? It just seems like a waste. He could have taken the car and accomplished the same thing. Sometimes people in Hallmark movies do dumb shit that don't matter. He could have gotten there faster. All right? Now, this is where we've been saying all along, this feels like a Hallmark movie, and it kind of does, except for in a Hallmark movie, he would have said that he was taking charge of the company. He was going to take the company in a new direction, and they were going to be like a Whole Foods company where everything was going to be organic and everything was going to be, no pesticides, no additives, no anything, and the company was going to be huge. And, that's how he was going to prove that he wasn't who she thought he was. All right, that's what a Hallmark movie probably would have done, is said, no, we're going to do this differently. All right. But to answer your question, Colin, about in a Hallmark movie, do you normally hate the lead character? The answer is yes. Usually yes. You hate the lead character to start with, or you hate the lead character's boyfriend, and he's out of the picture by the end, which in this case, we actually hated both. We hated her boyfriend, and we hated him. We hated the lead role. All right? So we have this total 180-degree change in this guy over the course of the film, which actually takes more like 15 minutes. So this could have been a lot shorter movie. All right? And by the way, I knew that fat couple was going to be a problem. All right? They just, the way they were talking about the food, too much of an issue. All right? So overall, what do I think of this movie? Well, I can't give it anything higher than a smirk because my wife fell asleep. If she hadn't fallen asleep, it might have ranked higher, especially for that, for the Hallmark quotient. I've seen enough. So, smirk. You're muted, Colin. So I did not hear you.
Have we ever had a triple smirk before?
I'm not going to go try and figure that out.
All right. So what do we got? How many to how many?
We have 1 to 41.
41. All right. This is the point of the show where we pick our next ones. 30.
Oh, this could be interesting. On Amazon, in this all-star comedy, underachieving siblings Phil and Danny O'Donnell are forced to run the family pub to save their eccentric uncle from jail time and financial ruin. This is Last Call.
Huh. Okay.
Wait. I got to copy it over.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. And 22.
Okay. We can still do this because it's free with ads. So that's Adam, an uptight Toronto lawyer, goes back to his hometown of Fernie and tries to save his friend's business. It's a Western Canadian adventure with Sask sightings, bikini pillow fights, and of course, the Rangers. This on IMDb TV. This is Frostbite. This is going to be awful.
Okay, well, that's not that one. Boy, how many... There's a lot of movies called Frostbite.
Well, with an exclamation mark.
Yes. Stars Robin Nielsen, Viv Leacock, and James Wallace. Customers who watched this item also watched An American Carol. Oh, what? So this is going to be along the same lines as An American Carol.
We liked An American Carol.
We did? What's this we stuff, white man? An American Carol. Colin and I both gave it a puke. We didn't like that.
Okay. Well, then we didn't like it.
You gave it a meh.
Okay. Well, meh's better than nothing.
If I was doing a quarantine countdown again, this would be in the top 10. Because American Carol would be in the top 10 for 2 pukes and a meh.
Okay, I just found it. All right, good. All right, so I got to add that to my list. Okay.
Man, there is no reference to this thing on YouTube.
It was hard to find, my friend. It was very hard to find. Oh, all right. Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought we were talking about a different Carol. Yeah, An American Carol was weird. All right. Well, I think that pretty much wraps up the show for tonight. You know, we always love love these fun ones to end on. By the way, we should probably check how's the weather. Oh, it's great. It's just wonderful outside still. It's still coming down. So, yay. All righty. With that said, oh, oh boy.
I found it. So if you look on YouTube, it's the movie Out Here, not Frostbite.
Okay. Oh, all right, folks. Well, this has been PTR Radio. We want to thank everybody for listening. Thank everybody for tuning in. Don't forget, check out our website, ptrradio.com. Also, check us out on social media at PTR Radio on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can keep up with all of our posts there. Otherwise, we'll be back in 2 weeks. That's right, we'll be back on March 1st. Unless the abominable snowman gets us, which is always a possibility. We'll be back with more movie reviews, more funny news, more comments about what we're doing, more drinks, and more good times. So everybody, please make sure to chime in. And don't forget to be safe out there, whether it's from the cold, from COVID, or just from everybody else in the world. Just practice a little bit of common sense. It'll go a long, long way. So, you know, other than that, Mike, I don't know how much else we have to say. Do you?
Well, I do have a bit of news that I may have a outdoor appearance scheduled or coming up in either April or May. I'm surprised. I was actually approached about possibly doing an event. So, yeah.
I was approached about doing a wedding in September. So, we shall see. Shall see. And Colin's going to be doing Disneyland at some point next year. Or later this year.
Yeah. World.
World.
I have no idea if I'll get to Disneyland. Someday, maybe.
So someday we'll be back out in the world. We just don't know when yet. So, as I said, keep yourself safe, and we'll be here for you every other Monday. I'm Shaggy.
I'm Colin.
I am Mike the 8-Man.
Stick a fork in us, folks. We are done. Later.